A lot of times when dogs are sick or injured, people think that they can't train their dog at that time. And to a certain extent, that's true, but there are a lot of conditions in which you can train your dog, even though it's sick or there's an injury. So for example, right now, Huli has a injured left rear leg. She's limping, sometimes holding it up completely, but I'm still training her. And so right now she is doing a sit stay, and she's going to be rewarded as often as necessary to get her to hold this position. So I'm working be still type behaviors. So conditions in which I wouldn't work with the dog is, one, if it wasn't eating well. So if it had a tummy ache or had medications that was causing a decrease of desire for food, I might hold off on my training under that set of circumstances. What I train is going to be appropriate for the medical condition. So Huli's injured leg means there can't be bouncing around, so I'm going to do a lot of be still type behaviors for her training. Lie, good girl. So that could be a sit stay. It could be a down stay. On the sit stay, I was rewarding up because I want to keep her head up. On the down stay, I'm going to reward really low to keep her head down. If your dog has to have a specialty diet, that could cause some limitations, but you can still train your dog. And that's the set of circumstances that one of my clients is in right now. Her dog has been prescribed a special diet to help the medical condition it's on. And so what I've recommended that she does is that she goes to someplace like REI and gets a food camping tube. And the food camping tube is going to allow her to put the canned version of the dog's food in here. So at home, during non-distracting circumstances, she's going to be training her dog with its kibble, just like what I'm doing right now with Huli. But if she has more difficult circumstances, such as when she comes to training class, she's going to put the canned dog food into the food tube so that she has something more palatable, something more attractive to her dog for that more difficult environment. And these work fantastic. Another problem that people might have is they might have a situation in which their dog's bored and their dog's been misbehaving because it can't get the exercise that it needs. So one of the products that I'm using with Huli, I believe it's called Lucky Dog. So this is what it looks like. And it comes with this mold. And so I've put some of Huli's food in the mold. This is a very small quantity of the food that I'm using for this. And so what I do is I unscrew this and I pop one of these frozen pieces of food. So it was frozen in the freezer previously. I pop it into the hole that's in it, and I screw this back on. And this is going to take Huli a good 20 minutes to get the food out of this thing. So 20 minutes of standing there, being still, looking at it. This is going to give her a lot of mental stimulation so that she's less bored. I could do some be still on her mat. So I could get out her mat or a dog bed, and I can do our Calming Places game, having her be still on that mat. Beauties. One of the behaviors that I'm working with Huli is to put this in her mouth. So this doesn't require a lot of action, so it's not going to hurt her leg. And when this is easy, then I can go for a little bit of duration and build up that duration. I can also play any calmness games and self-control games with my food that are going to make it so Huli has to show some impulse control, show some calmness, show the ability to not reach for my food in order to get it. Okay, I hope that has given you some fantastic ideas on things that you can do with your dog, even though it might be sick or even though it might be injured, and not be able to have regular training games that have action and would make a medical problem worse.